I'm doing a lot of observing right now. You can hear my neighbor's rooster. Now that the sun is getting high enough in the sky again, I'm able to see where the sun's going to hit in the back garden and at what times. It's only the very end of February / tomorrow's March 1st, so there is definitely, some time to go before I'm actually gardening out here, and there's already quite a bit of sun hitting. You can kind of see it hits all of this, and then there's kind of a shadow line here. I don't know if you can really tell that in the video, but it's really starting to show me kind of where the best growing spots are going to be. It's very sunny on this end down here. So yeah, basically in March, I'm hoping it'll not freeze or rain too much, and then I can really start getting all this brush cleaned out of there and getting things set up into garden bed spaces. It'll be a lot easier to visualize all my planting space once I'm able to start doing that. So that's kind of the plan for the next month. I just want to give you guys kind of an overview of what to expect in March. The other things that I'm probably going to start working on as far as the inside goes, I'm really doing some research into what I need to do to take out the floor in the kitchen so that I can start pulling that up. It is ceramic tile, so I'm gonna be experimenting with a few different pry bars to see what I need to do to get that floor ripped up in there. And then as far as the rest of the kitchen goes, I'm really just waiting to save up for the kitchen cabinets that I want, and then I can get that part going. I'm also hoping that I'll hear back from my asbestos test this month and I can figure out what's going on with the wall in the kitchen. That'll be a big project, taking that wall out, so hopefully I'll be able to get that started soon. I've got the second coat of paint on the wall. I did it last night, so it's all dry now, and it looks really good. I don't think it'll need a third coat, so I'm pleased about that. So today's project is going to be these windows. I'm going to take all these disgusting blinds down. I'm going to clean and scrub all the windows and the window sills. And then I have some curtains in the tiny house that I'm just going to bring over to use for now. I think what I'd really like to do is get wood blinds for in here. I think that would look really nice. But I won't be doing that at this time, but long term, that's the plan. Just scrubbed the 3 windows in that kitchen dining area, and this is what my water looks like now. Absolutely filthy and disgusting. So I'm going to go ahead and let these windows dry, but they are pretty nice and clean. A lot of the dirt you see down here is actually on the outside. And also this glass is loose. So I need to be pretty careful with this particular window. There would be a lot of things that I would be repairing before I paint around these, except for the fact that one of the main things I'm going to do is save up for new windows. And I'm hoping that'll be later this year or early next year at the latest. And so I'm not really going to do a whole lot more besides get these cleaned up, get them painted, and then put up the curtains that I brought over from the tiny house. And then when it's time to actually replace these windows, all the rest of these issues are going to be getting fixed during that time rather than now, because I don't want to put, there's a big crack right there all the way across. I don't want to be putting a whole lot of money, time, effort into these windows when I'm really just hoping to tear them out and replace them. Also, this window, barely opens because it hits that that deck there. The outer part of the window is broken. It's double paned at least. So, I mean, that is on the outside pane, not on the inside pane. But, you know, these are really cool old windows, but they are not really something that should be sort of being used anymore. I think what I'll do with all of the windows once I get them all replaced, I'd like to replace the windows in the bedrooms too. Once I get them all replaced, I'm gonna start building a greenhouse using all these, because these would be great for a greenhouse. They're just not good for a house. All right. All these windows are cleaned and painted. And I've got the hangers up for the curtain rods, and I've got the curtains on the curtain rods. So I just need to get those up on the curtain rod hangers, and then I'll be done with this project for now. All right, I've got my curtains up. You'll notice this one is not the same length. That's because I took these from the tiny house, but I do have another one that is the same longer length. So I'm gonna go out and grab that tomorrow. But for now, this is perfectly fine. And tomorrow they'll all be the same length. I did a little volunteering at the seed library today, which was really fun. Met some new people, gardening people, which for me is, you know, kindred spirits really. And in the seed library, they only keep seeds that are open pollinated. They don't do any hybrids, because the whole idea of the seed library is, you know, you take some seeds, you grow them, and then you bring some seeds back at the end of the season. And that helps the seeds get more acclimated to the area that we're growing them in, as well as make sure that the seed library stays stocked with cool varieties of stuff. So after we were done volunteering, we were able to pick some of the seeds that were hybrids to keep. So all of these are hybrids, which I don't mind growing. I'm just not going to save seeds from them, but I just wanted to show you the cool seeds I got. And it was really cool also just getting to meet and talk to some of the gardeners in the area, because they, you know, they've been gardening in this area and this climate for a long time. So it was nice to hear kind of some of the things they had to say about gardening here. I also got this really cool Saving Seeds book. This is from a guy that lives on Vancouver. Well, I think he lives on Salt Spring Island, but he lives, you know, in British Columbia. And it's just kind of some tips and a guide to saving your own seeds. So I just thought giving that a read. I've saved my own seeds before, but hearing how someone does it who is super adept at it, I think will be really great for me as well. As much as I love starting seeds indoors, I have really started to embrace things that can be direct sown, just being direct sown outside. And I started to embrace that because gardening in a tiny house means I didn't have a lot of room for seedlings. Even right now, I have way more stuff started indoors than I would have been able to have in the tiny house. Not so much at this stage, but once I have to pot these up, everything I have would not have fit in the tiny house without, you know, really getting in the way of day-to-day life. So what I've done is set up an organization system for everything that can be direct sown, and I have it in here by the month that it can be sown. So I have March sitting here because these are the things I'm going to be direct sowing this month. Then I have April, May, and June. And I also have sort of the dates listed on some of these as far as, you know, what part of the month they can be sown, or in the case of the flax, it can be sown in May and then again in September. I also have carrots split between all of these because I'm going to do several rounds of planting for the carrots. And so I highly recommend finding a way to organize it for yourself like this so that it's a lot more accessible to just, you know, grab everything for the month, have it organized by date, and know kind of what's coming for yourself. So this month, what I'm going to be direct sowing outdoors is mostly just spinach and kale. So, well, I guess I have a bok choy as well. And then I have a few different types of kale. Oh, I also have cilantro and nettles. Now, there may be nettles growing here. I don't know yet. But I did go ahead and buy some because I really like nettles and I wanted to be sure that there are some on the property. There's a nice part of the property that does stay fairly damp, which is where I'm going to be planting these so that they can kind of naturalize over there, hopefully. And, you know, I'll have a nice big nettle patch in years to come. These will self-seed and I probably, as long as they like it over there, I probably won't have to replant them. They'll just go to seed at the end of the year and, you know, keep coming back. Now, if they don't come back enough or I want more, then I might buy some more seeds, but hopefully they'll just naturalize over there. But these are the things I'm going to be planting outdoors this month. A lot of these greens are going to be planted in one of the beds that's near the front of the house. So these will be having space to be planted before I'm able to get the back garden situated, although I am hoping to start in on that this weekend. We are fully in seedling season. These peppers are not germinating. These peppers are germinating. What are you doing, bud? Okay, so this is the bed that I'm going to be working with this week. So I'm going to go ahead and get it in better order than this. Obviously, it's not looking so hot. So I'm going to get it all cleaned out and put some new soil in it. There are some bulbs coming up here. I'm going to leave those alone. The only things I'm really going to take out are sort of the first layer of muck that's on top of everything. And then some of these things in the middle. I'm going to go ahead and be planting some greens in here. So I'm looking at spinach and kale right now, and some bok choy. So I'm just going to go ahead and get everything cleared out and then start putting in my greens. Sorry, I almost forgot to record this. I've already put some compost in there, but I've gotten everything besides the bulbs cleared out. There's a few little wisps of grass and stuff, which honestly, I'm just not that worried about. I don't even know that I'm going to fill this bed up this year, so I'm not too worried about a few things. This is just one bag of compost. This is a pretty big, it's pretty wide. I'd say at least 3 feet, maybe 3.5. I don't think it's 4, but maybe I'm wrong. And then it goes all the way down. So it's quite a bit of space. I'm going to go ahead and throw a few more bags of compost in, and then I'm going to spread it out. There's something so special and calming about that first true day in the soil. The way the dirt is actually the only thing that can cleanse all the emotional buildup from the previous year. This year has brought the end of a 6-year-long relationship for me, as well as continuing to deal with the deep anguish of losing my dad. This year also marks the beginning of the end of my mom's struggle with early onset Alzheimer's. There's still a very hard road ahead for her and me. She is my last family member. Contemplating being the last of my family is quite an odd feeling. I don't really even know how to put it into words. And having this soil, these projects, this life is something that I am infinitely grateful for. It keeps me trudging along no matter what is approaching on the horizon. The seeds that I'm sowing are going to feed my body soon enough. In the meantime, this process is feeding my soul. Nurturing these plants, coaxing them from their seeds and watching them grow, helping to create something beautiful at a time when so many aspects in my life feel like they're collapsing, gives me a sort of lifeline to hang on to. Seeing them germinate from day to day, their leaves unfurling and reaching toward the sun, it reminds me to also keep reaching toward the positive, to find and hold on to the small joys from day to day, and even moment to moment. Okay, I've marked off where my little rows are planted. I've got spinach, kale, cilantro, and bok choy all planted right in this little section. And I still have all of this that I can get compost for and put more stuff in. So I'll be doing that soon too. There's still obviously a lot to be done. This is in no means a finishing touch, but I just wanted it to be a little bit more homey in here in the meantime. So I went ahead and hung up my mug holder and organized some teas on top with my tea strainer. And it really adds a feeling of home in here that is really quite lovely. And again, even though there's still quite a lot to get done in here and there's going to be literal construction, this may even have to come down during the construction. But for now, it feels really nice to have my mugs and my tea in a cute little spot. And sometimes all you can do is something that makes you feel nice.